A cruel alarm resounds to alert someone of something. I stare at this gruesome scene spread out before me with regret filling me. A person, on top of person, all lying in a heap. Heaps of people, friend and foe alike, lying on their sides like a pile of discarded porcelain dolls on trash day. The choking scent of blood that had been poisoning the air a while ago has now almost completely subsided. Have I already lost my sense of smell, or is this the work of the fire-extinguishing nitrogen gas? Nitrogen gas. Are we going to suffocate to death here? Is everyone's air supply going to be cut off like a stopped faucet? Mika, Sami, Kosuke, Yumi. I've lost almost all my ability to think. I faintly realize within my fading consciousness that even on the verge of death, nothing feels real. I hear a voice.
Akari? Akari?
A voice calling out.
Akari? Akari?
A voice calling out to me.
Akari?
That's my name. My nearly forgotten real space name. Akatsuki Akari. Hardly anybody knows that name, let alone the fact that it belongs to me. Which means this voice must belong to...
かわいそうなあかり。あなたはこんなところで死ぬべきではない。
I can't speak. I can't raise a finger. I can't even tell if my body is here. But what I can tell is that this feels nice. Like the calming embrace of an elder sister, like the euphoria of being gazed at by a lover. She's the one I longed for. Hers is the voice I longed to hear. My One-sama.
あなたの思いはきちんと誰かに託すことができて。
Yes, One-sama. I answer her in my mind. No, wait. Can I really be sure that I have? Yumi. What happened with my Yumi? Was she saved? Is she alive? Or did she... I try to remember. I don't know. Last thing I remember, she was shot through in the eye and started writhing on the floor in pain. Yumi. Yumi. My vision grows brighter and brighter. I'm soaked deeper in euphoria, in security, in ecstasy. I feel like I'm floating. I'm...
生きてください、リーダー。
Yumi? Is that you, Yumi?
お願いです。ユミたちを、ユミを導いてください、リーダー。
Yumi, you must survive. At the very least, you must live. If only I had just a little more strength left, I'd spend it all to protect you. And now we're several weeks later. Who to kill? Who to save? My ears are ringing. I'm dragged out of empty space once again. Where am I? This is the world without light, sound, or gravity. In the blackness, I have a dream of floating on air. No, that's a bit wrong. Rather than it feeling as if I'm floating in the air, it's like I'm floating in water. I feel like I've become an aquatic animal, as if I'd evolved backwards, or transferred to another evolutionary line altogether. A dolphin. Perhaps dolphins have these sorts of dreams, with these sorts of feelings. I remembered that in the distant past, I had thought about what kind of dreams dolphins had as I watched them swimming in a giant tank. Why was I thinking about dolphins, and dolphins' dreams no less? It feels like someone is asking me that. But who? Something shining passes in front of me, It then flutters in midair. A fairy? Isn't that... The fairy is whispering something to me, but I can't hear it. What? What is it? I can't hear you. Before I know it, there are now 2 fairies flying in the air. 2? The 2 fairies motion for me to follow and then fly away. It seems as if they're trying to guide me somewhere. Wait! Wait! Where are you going? One of the fairies says something to me. I still can't hear anything, but my heart makes a sound. Could you be... The 2 fairies are smiling sweetly at me, or so it feels like. Suddenly, I feel both gravity and proprioception, the weight of the world, the weight of myself. But something's weird. I hear a voice. Who? Who is that? I try to turn my head in an attempt to see the owner of the voice, but contrary to my will, my body won't quite move the way I'm telling it to. To that extent, I feel a strange thick and heavy sensation. Was my body always this heavy? My field of vision is unstable. I can barely hear anything either. I can't even speak to ask about what's going on. Although I'm perplexed, I use every trick in the book to try to move my body. I focus my consciousness on my fingers and first try bending one of them. Then 2, 3, 4. I slowly clench my hand into a fist and then open it again. Now that my arm's listening to me again and I can control it at will, I start to stand up this time. My body is heavy and stiff. My senses slowly become more vivid. My consciousness starts to become clearer.
いいわ、その調子よ。
With awkward movements, I finally stand up. As if it were expecting that, the inside of my head makes a sound. Commencing connection to cerebral nerves. Olfactory, that should be olfactory. Nerve connection 100%, ocular motor nerve connection 30%, trochlear 100%, trigeminal 100%, adducers 100%, facial 100%, of course, did the same thing as before. Let me read it. Vestibulo-cochlear, glossopharyngeal, vagus, accessory, hypoglossal, optic. Okay. At the same time, my vision clears up. Numbers and what appear to be meters stretch out before my eyes. What is this? My way of seeing things is weird. And what was that sound earlier? Strange symptoms swoop down on me in succession. I feel intense bewilderment and bottomless fear. What is this? This isn't normal. And a second later, my field of vision completely changes as if nothing had happened. I don't understand my current situation or myself very well. I just know this one thing. The current me isn't normal. What happened to my body? For some reason, the sensations in my right and left arms are different from each other. When I notice that sense of discomfort, I look at my right arm in order to confirm the reason. I can't tell just by looking at it. I timidly stretch my left hand out and try touching it. It's hard, too hard. It feels like it's metal. Is this an artificial hand? Something passes by in the corner of my field of vision. Is someone there? Standing over there is an unfamiliar young man. Oh, I bet it's a reflection. He looks about 20 years old, a young man with a strong body. Is he the owner of that voice from earlier? I've never seen that face before, but his features vaguely resemble someone's face, a face that I know very well. I try to remember and bring my left hand to my forehead. I'd only intended it as a casual action, but just then... What? The person before my eyes puts his hand to his forehead as well, with the same timing, with the same hand, in the same way. That young man looks at me with eyes full of surprise and bewilderment. This is... I try touching my cheeks. I touch my chest. I try reaching my hand out for my head. The young man perfectly replicates my actions and moves at the exact same times that I do. I don't need to think about it any longer. That's a mirror. My reflection's in it, my own figure. But my brain reflexively denies that. My brain keeps screaming, "This isn't me! This can't be me!" Even though I'm uncertain of my identity right now, that desire to deny it alone is clear. An unfamiliar body, 5 senses that feel out of place, mechanical sensations, hard textures, body parts that feel artificial, a form that's like that of another person. There's just one solution I can derive from this. My brain mercilessly strikes me with that realization. I shake my head countless times and tear at my hair with trembling hands. A scream like that of a crushed frog escapes from my throat like a deep breath. I want someone to deny this reality, to tell me this is all wrong. This is wrong. This is all wrong. 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 The young man's eyes are wide, his hair is disheveled, and his lips are trembling like crazy. He stares at me as if looking at a monster. He also denies me. He denies my denial. At the bottom of my heart is another me that affirms everything. This is you. What the hell happened to me?
Oi, ochitsuke.
That's the owner of the voice from earlier. I turn around. A familiar woman is standing there. I soon remember. Hinata, that's my name.
Hinata.
Her story rejects my hopes and at the same time supports my hypothesis. My whole body, including my brain, has been cyberized. In other words, I've become a cyborg. That's how I, who was on the brink of death, ended up barely surviving with my life. My current body is 2/3 mechanical. Well, this is not at all surprising. And now we've jumped back in time. I think it was, yeah. What is this? Who could this person be? Who is this girl in the mirror? Oh wait. A sudden overwhelming identity crisis strikes. Why is this girl here? 2 legs buckle underneath, an arm reaches out, seeking support. When suddenly, someone stretches out a helping hand.
ありがとう。弥生先生？
The school doctor. Sensei smiles upon hearing her name.
気分はどう？ユミ。
Yumi. Yumi. Mayumi. Mayumi. That's right. That's Yumi's name. But why?
ユミは一体。
So many things are unclear. What? Why? How? So many questions run through my head.
まあなんとかうまくいったってとこか。
Another voice. I turn around, and there stands that old junk shop man, Nergal, with his usual scowl. Now that I think about it, I've seen this place before. It's the operating room in the back of Death's Crossroads. Made it through? Made it through what? My memory is too disheveled to remember clearly. The questions don't stop. On the contrary, they just keep cascading. Sensei gently embraces Yumi in her confusion.
もう大丈夫。平気よ。私が守ってあげる。
Protect? Protect Yumi? From whom? From what?
誰が誰を守れるってんだ。自分のことは自分で面倒見るしかねえだろ。これ以上手間を。
さいわね。あんたは少し黙ってらっしゃい。
へいへい。 ったく、どいつもこいつも。どうしてあのなぎの連中は気ぐらいの高いお嬢様ばかりなんだが。
それよりもちゃんとうまくいったの？ユミ、ぼんやりして話が分かってないみたいだけど。
おいおい、そいつはもともとそういうやつだったろうが。心配すんな。長い間意識を失ってたんで、状況把握に時間がかかってるだけだ。情報処理が追っつかねえんだよ。すぐに元通りになる。電脳も異常なし。埋め込んだ左の義眼だってバッチリさ。オールグリーンだ。苦労したんだぜ。適合性に問題がなく、おまけにあんたの注文通りに右目と同じ色の義眼を調達するのは。
当たり前でしょ。女の子なのよ。そのくらい気を使いなさい。
面倒な奴らだな。
New information comes streaming in like raging rapids. Grip on the situation. Unconscious for a long period of time. Biocomputer. Artificial. Left eye. Left eye. Left eye. Lost. My left. A sudden flashback, accompanied with endless dread and pain. My arms and legs flail about in chaos. All reason is instantly blown away. I somewhat understand that the pain is an illusion, but it's so scary, so dreadful, so terrifying that I don't know what to do.
落ち着いて、ユミ。もう大丈夫なの。大丈夫。だから落ち着いて。ね。
Sensei holds Yumi down. She embraces Yumi, calls out to Yumi, and holds Yumi tightly so that she doesn't disappear.
落ち着いて、ユミ。まゆみ。
Yumi manages to calm down after a short while, but she can't stop trembling. Yumi's brain begins to burn and fry to a crisp as unpleasant memories come rushing back like a high-speed projector spinning through slides. My friends kept falling, one by one, in a living indoor hell. Tears drip and drop. The trembling won't stop. Did Yumi come back from that hell? Yumi looks back up at Sensei. But Sensei just bites her lip, hangs her head, and shakes her head.
そんな。
No way. Everyone died? Yumi's the only survivor? Yumi didn't just lose her left eye, but One-chan, the leader, and her friends, and her left half?
お前さんだけ助かったのだって奇跡みたいなもんだ。それだけでもよかったじゃねえか。違わねえ。現実を見つめろ。夢ばかり見てると後でひどく傷つくぞ。
No. No, you're wrong. This isn't good at all. This is all Yumi's fault for being unable to restrain he after calling on him. It's Yumi's fault. It's all because of Yumi. Yumi's to blame. So why? Why did nobody else survive? Why was Yumi the only one? Yumi gently brushes Sensei away and heads outside on unsteady feet. There I am greeted by the sunset sky. My tearful eyes are stained scarlet by the setting sun. Come to think of it, the sunset seems to be the same color it was on the day I learned that Dad died. I suddenly get the urge to check the time. The left-hand corner of my vision projects the timestamp, June 2nd, 2032, 4:51 p.m. And now back to June 23rd. Hang on a second. Okay. I thought there was... No, okay. Oh. So... So that's 3 weeks later. In the right corner of my field of vision, I see that it's June 23rd, 2032, 4:52 p.m. My body has already become a complete machine. I've lost so many things, and not just my flesh and blood body. I've been damaged. There's a lot of things I can never regain. I soon recovered my memories. I completely remember who I am and why I fell into this kind of situation. I had to accept all those feelings of bitterness, sorrow, and regret. The sun begins to set. I wish I could disappear just like that. As soon as I think that, I feel something behind me. There's 2 people there. No tension runs through me. There's no danger. They're not hostile people. I don't even need to turn around to know who the first one is. Those cigarettes she loves so much, the scent of menthol, it's Yayoi-sensei. But who's the other one?
君は結局助かったんだな。よかったよ。
I don't know. Well, I have some ideas. It's a man in his late 40s wearing a suit. Gray hairs are beginning to stick out on the hair on his head. His cheeks are thin and sharp. He's got stubble on his chin. He's not too tall, but his body is solidly built, and his appearance gives off an intimidating air. Above all else, his eyes are discerning. They give off a glint similar to a falcon's. But his voice sounds full of exhaustion. That's the only fragility I can see in his appearance. But have I heard this voice somewhere before?
あなたは
ああ、申し遅れた。
He says that, takes a business card out of his tattered suit, and gives it to me.
警視庁電脳課の宮田だ。
The business card reads, Metropolitan Police Department Biocomputer Division 3 Network Special Investigations Team Assistant Inspector Miyata Masayuki.
電脳課の特捜隊サイバーフォースの
さすが詳しいな。その通りだ。
Meaning that he's one of the guys that has been investigating the recent net-related incidents, such as those related to cyber terrorism in Babylon and Scene. But they were also the ones who treated me as a suspect of sorts. Has he come to arrest me? When I give him a dubious look, he casts his eyes down slightly.
駆けつけるのが遅れてすまなかった。ヘリで急行したんだが。
じゃあ
The investigator nods.
悪いが、君の蘇生にはうちの部署が1枚噛ませてもらったよ。君が今後、妙なテロリストとかに命を狙われないように、元の身元は完全に抹消させてもらう。新たな人間として世に復帰してくれ。
新たな人間。
そうだ。姿も名前も過去もだ。
Don't you mean your future too? I'm about to say that, but swallow my words.
とにかく君はもう安全で自由なんだ。安心してくれ。
The investigator mutters this as he stares at the setting sun. I see through his lie immediately. I'm not safe in the slightest. I'm not free either. In this curse known as death, I'll accomplish nothing, nor will I gain anything. I'll just continue to lose things for eternity. I will do nothing but powerlessly continue an endless existence of kill and be killed.
あいつは
The places that bastard stabbed my body in begin to throb. To me, who lost all his scarred and pierced sections and had them cyberized, those parts are just something like phantom limbs now, but...
出雲司はどうなったんですか。
逃げたよ。どこに潜伏してるのかまだわからない。まあその件に関してまた君に協力してもらうこともあるだろう。辛かったろう。とりあえず今はゆっくり休んで頭を整理した方がいい。そうだ。あとこれを。
When he says that, he takes something out of his pocket and puts it in my hands. It feels hard and heavy. It's a watch. It doesn't just show the time, it has a stopwatch function and a moon's phase function built into it as well. It's certainly an extremely valuable chronograph. There's a carved seal of an X on the dial. This watch, I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. Did I catch a glimpse of it somewhere on the net or on TV, in a commercial or a mail order or something? As I blankly stare at the watch, the investigator taps my shoulder without another word. He then waves his hand and slowly leaves. I emotionlessly see him off. What kind of face am I making now? Yayoi-sensei, who'd just been watching silently up until now, places a hand on my shoulder and opens her mouth. When I realize she's going to offer me sympathy, I quickly go rigid and speak.
誰が生き返らせてくれってお願いしました。
I regret those words as soon as they leave my lips.
Hinata.
That's something that nobody should ever say, no matter the reason. Why am I always doing stupid shit like this? God damn it.
ごめんなさい。先生。一人にさせてください。
I turn my back to her and look up at the sky again. I can't see Sensei's face.
わかったわ。ごめんなさい。私。
Sensei quickly begins to leave. Her pained voice echoes in my mechanical heart. What kind of face am I making?